Well, I've got a lung full of dust, but let's get this started. Hi, Pasta. Hi, Alter. It was very nice to see you too. Happy Friday. Today is absolutely Friday. Oh yeah, I got that dust lung. That one specifically where you're getting like that, let me know if the music is too loud, where you're like getting that like buildup of gunk and you're just like, okay, I had way too much inhalation of the dust. Nice to see you. Let's get this started. Hopefully nobody died overnight. I awoke with my eyes fixed on the ceiling wallpaper. A sense of dread lingered from a nightmare I no longer remembered. How many more times would I see this apartment before I returned to my own world? Or before something happened to me? What happened last time? We dated people. Nothing big happened, I don't think. I got ready for the day and tried to shake off those thoughts. Pasta, but I appreciate the compliment. It just took me a second to digest it. Oh, has there been another murder? Oh no! Hey, cat. And right on the minute, you show up at this time every day, like clockwork. Clocks are reliable, and reliable is good in this line of work. No, it's okay. I figured it wasn't lewd. It's just that, like, it was still a compliment, so I was like, ah! But then I was like, yay! Oh, I gotta give Frost an F in chat because she be working. That's so tragic. I'm sorry, boo. I've got something for you. An envelope from the facility. Oh, these are the results from the tests Anna ran on my blood. She must have sent this before she was... No, it's no use thinking about that now. Maybe the test results will be able to help us. Let's see. Remarkable similarities in genetic makeup, particularly the brain structure. Sorry. Oh, I suppose this isn't the only reason you're here? The chief will explain everything once we get there. Let's not keep him waiting, shall we? Has there been another death? I hope there hasn't been another... I don't like this. This looks like a home of, like, an actual person. We arrived at a place that would look like an ordinary house, had it not been for its... Dead dinos, I know! Had it not been for its extraordinary size. It reminded me more of a hostel than a family home. Chief! Ah, there you are. Wait, weren't you supposed to be with Amira? Luckily, she doesn't work every day of the week. I see. Anyway, we're nearly done here, so I'll keep it short. Riza broke into the hatchery. Qua? Thank you for the resub, Pasta. I appreciate that. Like, you've given me so much support for this channel over the years. I appreciate that. Thank you. Ooh, did you get that with your cat points? That's so... You subscribed to tier 3! Shit, dude. Use that blush as much as you can. Holy heck. I just realized that. I'm sorry. Use it. Use it. Like, use it. I can no longer keep it from you. It is yours. Congratulations. But holy shit, dude. Are you sure you want to do that? I do appreciate it, though. Thank you so much, dude. Wow. You making me cat 6 blush. There is another murder victim, an employee of the hatchery who was on night duty. Her body was found quite away from here. There is evidence of a struggle, but she covered a lot of distance before it was ultimately over. Loud bangs were heard from the area her body was found, and she has numerous wounds consistent with both the wounds of the previous victims and that other weapon he has. By this point, news of another corpse didn't have the same impact anymore. She was just another one of Riza's faceless victims. Like that they have to have horn holes in the hats. Yeah! Horn hole hat! And if they wore pants, they'd have to have pant holes for their tails. Hatchery? Is that what this building is? But I think it's really cute how they, like, have the little thing for, like, horn size. You can make it a big horn or a little horn. No, not porn pal pants. How dare you say that? Well, not only. It's a council-owned building, and they like keeping everything related to their sector under the same roof. Go ahead and lurk, Grant. Somebody else has died, and hopefully it's not one of the main characters. But also, happy Friday. It's very nice to see you, dude. So, besides the hatchery, there's also an orphanage and a family clinic inside. There are also offices related to the administration of those services. Orphanage. A dean better not have died. A dean better not have died. Listen, a dean better not have died. Oh my god, dude. That reminds me of the production facility. Who dat, though? Adine is the yellow one that we wanted to date a little. She was very sweet, and we read a magazine together. It should. They have a similar management structure. Can we get back to the case? You might not know her, but I know her, and I love her. Sorry for the interruption, Chief. Wait a minute. If an orphanage is in there too, usually reveals all. I'm gonna wait for the break just in case. There are no other casualties, but Riza got something else when he broke in. A generator, as well as a few eggs. I'll check out the status menu when I get the reveal, cause luckily, the power was restored before anything happened to all the other eggs left inside, but needless to say, the parents of the stolen eggs are not going to be happy. Why would he steal eggs in the first place? Maybe you can tell us. That's why you're here after all. I don't know. I have no idea what he would even do with them. You gotta scramble them eggs, or bring them to the human world to rule above all the other humans. Breakfast tasty. Maybe he wants to use them as a bargaining chip. After all, he still has to make his escape, and the portal is still broken. Do you think he wants to exchange them for safe passage through the portal? Maybe. It's still broken though, so I'm not sure if that would be much help. That scrawny Drago on the left, you think he could rule? With those two hands? Yeah! And like, compared to humans, humans would freak out. They'd be like, oh no, you got sharp teeth and claws, I cannot take this. Maybe he has the part needed to repair it, and now has everything he needs to escape. 2 hands! Yeah, he's got 2 whole hams with claws on the end. 2 hams. He could trade the eggs for safe passage, fix the portal, and leave. That's not the only possibility. He may not be the one who broke the portal. Maybe he thinks you've intentionally sabotaged it, so he can't leave. 2 hams. And he feels he needs the eggs as a bargaining chip to get you to repair it. If he just wanted to leave, I feel like he could have done that already. It doesn't even matter who sabotaged the portal. We only know that Riza's actions are becoming more and more desperate. He kidnapped defenseless eggs and even used the human weapon. Something's clearly going on with him. Maybe it means he'll slip up soon. Who knows? Maybe he already has. In any case, we're done here. Let's head back to the department and decide what to do next. Hopefully some of the test results will tell us something. Wait, so who died? Music too ominous. That's because there's a death pasta. Who died? Okay, I think we good. We good. I know there was one casualty, but that wasn't us. Because remember, there was that casualty that, like, ran away from the orphanage? But I guess it was nobody important. Thank goodness. After a brief walk, we were in Bryce's office again. Initial test results had already come in. Was that old? I thought that was like the previous one. Ugh. But didn't reveal any insightful or new information. So what do we— oh, you're valid, Pasta, you're valid. I'm just over here trying to grasp onto anything that says my character that I liked didn't die. So what do we do now? Go over the timeline again? Ooh woo. 235 times. We haven't used that for a little bit. Oh, sorry. Not yet. There are a few things I'd like to take care of first. What do you have in mind? Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Are you gonna knock? That's not a knock. Come in. Not since last stream. Yeah, you got me there. You got me there. Maverick! Hi, baby! Maverick? What are you doing here? That's a wrap. Chief, can I talk to you? Alone? We're quite busy here, Maverick. What is this about? Riza. Well, you're looking at the Riza task force, so if you have anything to say, you can say it in front of all of us. But I'm human. He doesn't want to talk about that to me. I see. I think I know where Riza is. You know where Riza is at this very moment? Friggin' human! I have good reason to believe that I have located his hideout. He could still be there, or he might have already moved on. Damn, Maverick, tell me everything. I've been tracking him for a while now. When he was at the portal a few days ago, I nearly got him, and managed to follow him for a while before I lost him. Based on that, where he's been and where his victims have been found, I could triangulate his whereabouts. He has to live somewhere, right? He needs a base to hide the generators and everything he's stolen. How does a dragon lose a human, though? Because we're wiry, and these big boys can't do that. We can run. We got them leggies. They got like 4 clumsy leggies. Bryce cleared the clutter on a table and smoothed out a map of the town on its surface. It already had a few locations related to the case marked on it. Show it to me. Prior victims were found here, and here. Today's was here. She was following him, likely because she wanted to save the eggs he stole. This is the path he took from the portal when I followed him a few days ago. So we've established this as his area of operation. Extrapolate it and we can narrow it down to this. Now, where could he be hiding in this area? He's certainly not within the village borders, so unless he's decided to live in the wilderness or in a hole in the ground, the only option is here. I guess there was a victim today. Technically, yeah, today, but it doesn't seem like it was anybody important, so yahoo. The abandoned farm. When did you figure all of this out? Just a few minutes ago. When I did, I immediately came here. Damn it, Maverick, this might be it. Also not literally today in our timeline? It was technically today in our timeline. Like, the victim from today was technically today, but it was like this morning today. Should we send an observation team? As if we had one to spare. Like, today is in this Friday? Yeah, today there was that victim. But, like, it was a nameless victim, so it didn't matter. Human time. Heck, we're going there right now. What about you, Maverick? I'm still on sick leave, remember? Besides, if I saw Riza right now, I'd probably do something I shouldn't. You're being very level-headed about this. That makes me question your motive, Maverick. You know what I mean? It's human time. We're gonna eat that humans. How about you, Cat? Isn't this going to be dangerous? Riza probably won't harm you, as you're the only person he could possibly consider an ally. Maverick is Riza confirmed. Oh! Maverick is Riza's scale Sona. How did I not see it before? Good point. If anything, with you there, we might be able to convince him to give up. Or we could act like we intend to trade you for the eggs if he tries to use them as a bargaining chip. It's a shoddy dragon, so yeah, like, look at those eyes. So anime, so edgy. You're not really going to use me as ransom, right? Is the dragon on the far right a girl dragon or a boy dragon? Boy dragon. These are all boy dragons. They got that dragon D. We'll see about that. I suppose if it's necessary, I'll have to play along. He's so slender. That dragon D. Yeah! What? I'm just saying, it's possible that they got D's. I've got your back. If there's one thing we could do to make this whole situation even worse, it would be messing up with you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, Pasta. Not you too. We have the element of surprise if we walk into his base right now, but we risk Riza lashing out with his weapon. If we want to resolve this peacefully, observation is probably the way to go. I guess we won't need Cat there for that, though. Oh, no! True enough. Alright, Cat, you stay here and wait for further instructions. We may need you at a moment's notice. Why wouldn't they have those D's? I mean, especially in this dating game, am I right? Like, that's an appealing thing. Like, why wouldn't they? Don't do anything without us telling you to, understand? Okay, fine. I guess I won't come with you to the abandoned farmhouse then. Alright then, let's go, Sebastian. After you, Chief. And Maverick, good job. Thanks, Chief. Hi, Maverick. Shortly after they vanished, Maverick also turned to leave. Maverick? Then I had to wait. Bryce and Sebastian were observing the farm now, and if anything new happened, I would be the first to know. I spent some time looking around Bryce's office, studying all the material he had gathered about the case, though there wasn't any information that I didn't know already. After a few hours, the telephone in his office rang, and not sure whether the call was intended for me or Bryce, I picked up. Kat? Hello? Yes. I think you need to come here. I'll give you the directions. No problem. If Reese is dead, I'm gonna be so sad because I really like that. I like the idea of him not dying. I answered the phone because I was socially pressured. I can't help it. There you are. So what happened? A whole lot of nothing. There was no movement to or from the building in the time we've been watching. Ooh. He usually operates during the night, so maybe he's just asleep. In that case, it would be best for us to go in before he has a chance to make his escape. Or maybe he's not even in there anymore. He could have seen us and slipped away unnoticed with plenty of time to destroy the evidence while we've been waiting here. He could literally still be inside, yeah. You're right. Either he's still inside or he's already gone and not coming back. I hear that airplane in the background. Y'all being so loud today. Let's go in. What should I do? You're coming with me. Sebastian, you walk around and watch the back of the building just in case he tries to escape. I'm on it, Chief. Let's find this human that I am friends with, sort of. I go in and you stay here, all right? What? I thought I was coming with you. What am I even here for then? What will baby boy Sebby do? He's so small, but he's fast and he's got claws. That hurts. You're our insurance. If Riza tries to flee and sees you, it might throw him off. You might be able to stop him. Or if we get into a standoff, I can tell him you're here as well. I just don't want you to come inside when it could be dangerous. For all I know, the claws are soft and rounded. They're smooth and they pointy. They could make you draw a little blood. It hurts. I want to go in, but all right. Pasta, is there something you want to tell me? I watched as Bryce made his way to the front door. Looking around, I scanned the windows of the building for any sign of movement. When Bryce reached the door, I wondered how he would make his entry. Would he try to be quiet and sneak around, hoping to find Riza unprepared? Or would he barge in and rely on his strength and speed to apprehend him? Though, shortly after Bryce opened the door, an earth-shattering sound echoed across the sky. It was a trap! I knew that. Things that feel nice on your skin feel nice on your skin. Bryce! Explosions! It was a setup. Maverick is in on it. Like, oh my god, Bryce is dead. Wait, is Bryce dead? Shit, dude, Bryce is fucking dead. Okay. Okay. Well, so much for that. I can't believe he's really gone. Dude, holy shit. What? What? I'm sorry. I was overcome with emotion. I'm guessing it's a good thing I didn't go in first then, because that was a big trap. My life more important than this boy's life. I'm sorry, Kat. I just don't know what to say. All the responsibility falls on me now, and Riza's still out there somewhere. This case is just beyond our capabilities. We were already at a bare minimum before this, but with Bryce gone, I just don't know what we should do now. Sebastian, now he has to carry the load of the whole, police force, and he's so small. Those shoulders can't hold that much. I've already requested help from one of the cities. I hope they'll send some good investigators our way as soon as possible. At least we reclaimed everything that was stolen. Well, except for the eggs. I don't want to have to explain to the parents how their children were killed in the explosion. Wait, the eggs were part of the explosion? Dragons have shoulders. They gotta have shoulder blades. All of the generators were just sitting inside there. It makes me think that Riza must have left in a hurry, but he couldn't have left in a hurry if he had time to fucking detonate some eggs. Even if it was self-detonator, that requires a lot of time and effort to put together. I mean, I'd think so. Shoulder blades. And we got close too. It was his hideout, for crying out loud. He probably just saw us approaching and left before we even have the chance to apprehend him. But you know what? We can't stop now. If anything, this has only proven that he's even more dangerous than we thought. If Riza can make bombs out of generators, who's to say where he'll use them next? Well, what do you mean he made the generators into bombs? You can't prove that if the generators were still there. Those eggs are dynamite. Maybe like the fluid in the eggs is very flammable? We have to stop him, Cat. Are you with me? Yes. Regardless of Bryce's death, we have to try our best to proceed with the investigation. For his memory and for the sake of the town. At least Riza doesn't have any generators for now. All the stolen ones were accounted for inside the building. Alright, let me see what else we have. When we searched the building, we found more than the things Riza stole. We also found this bloody bandage. Do you think that's his? That's what we need to find out, but given all that we know, it probably is. So he's wounded. We know he was injured during the fight with his first victim, but whether this is from the same wound or something else, I'm not sure. In any case, you could bring it into the lab for us to find out more. Sure. Next, we have a witness who reported hearing loud bangs during the night. We'd like to send someone to make a follow-up visit. You'll need to confirm the witness statement, then see if he has anything new to share. Also, now that we've reclaimed your PDAs, we're going to send one to the archives for analysis. Since they have experience with human artifacts, they're better suited to do this than any of our departments. No problem? Yeah, public displays of affection, baby! Little photos of humans smooching each other. Public display of dragon affections. It's that hot human on human action, because dragons are like, oh! In any case, I'll just leave everything here until I get to it, so feel free to do these tasks as you wish. It's just the same thing, twinsies. I know it's laughable that we don't even have a free hand for simple errands. On how smooth humans are. Now you're just making me think about those people that are attracted to cars sexually, Pasta. Why would you do that to me? Don't worry about it. Anyways, I should get back to the investigation now. I'll leave this stuff for you here, and I'll take care of the rest once I get back, alright? Yeah, there are people that are, like, sexually attracted to, like, actual cars, and not, like, Cars the movie Cars, but, like, Cars. Sure thing. Good luck, Cat. You too. Dusty lungs. First, we gotta do this. Like, literally bone-dollaring a car? Or, like, the idea of bone-dollaring a car? Yeah. I hope this is the right place. Pasta, thank you for the host. Right after the bone-dollaring conversation, like, ooh. Shit! What? What's wrong? Hi again, Damien. I really like this dude. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm just dropping this evidence off on behalf of the police. I don't believe it. Well, look it up. It's a thing people do. From the Riza case, right? He's got hands. He's not a snake. I already read the memo. Yep. Well, here you go. Thanks. I'll get right to it. How do you even go about looking that up? Are people sexually attracted to cars? He's like a gecko, yeah. Let's visit the library. Because I might see my boy. Oh, doesn't look like Remy's here. Look at this fancy son of a gun wearing a tie and all that nonsense. I love the stippling. Excuse me. Can I help you? Do you know where the audio section is? I'm looking for some sheet music. Hey girl, you want a bone car? No. Not like that. But, sorry. I have no idea. I don't even work here. Dragons don't have the dexterity to do a bow tie. But they do. When they walk on two legs, they have their little fingies. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The staff all seem to be hiding somewhere. Anyway, have a good day. You too. Mysterious dragon with the cool stippling. Maybe Remy is somewhere in the back or in his office? Knock knock. Hello? Hello? Amira, what are you doing in his room? Get out of here, you harlot. You know, this section is usually for staff only. I'm just looking for Remy. I'm supposed to drop off this PDA. She's got that hearing, yeah. It's cool. Well, he's not working today. Apparently, he had other engagements. If you need to find him, you can probably do so at his home. Can't I just leave the PDA here? Oh, I am not going to take responsibility for this if it gets lost. If you want to drop it off, go find him. Okay, thanks. By the way, I hope you do not take it personally that I tried to send you away. To be honest, I am glad that you are still here. Remember, I said that I believed you when you told me your side of the story. I always have to do what's in the public's best interest, and now they will not blame me if you have any connections with Riza. I hope you can understand that. Oh, what's up, Pasta? What's up? Here is Remy's address. Nice title. You jinxed it. Oh no, you're right, I did. Rip in pieces, Bryce. Oh, that sucks. I shouldn't have said anything, because then he wouldn't have died. Thank you. Let's go to his home address. Literally in pieces, ripped in freaking pieces. Oh god, you're still alive. Oh, that's good. Okay. Covered in egg. Oh, hello, cat. What are you doing here? I just came by to give you this. I was already at the library, but Amira refused to let me drop it off there. Well, guess what? His ear flaps hate you. It's even. I see. Hey, it's one of your PDAs. I told you one would find its way to me eventually. Yep, and now you can look at all the human knowledge you want. That's impressive. You have no idea how much I'm looking forward to that. I may not be working today, but I'm still going to check it out as soon as possible. I'm giving out so many PDAs. Like, I'm giving this boy a PDA. I tried to give that lady the PDA. Sebastian gave me the PDA, so ooh woo. His ear looked like his shirt collar. Yeah, maybe it's just wrinkly, it's fine. You never have time to iron out ears these days. I'm just going to leave you to it then. Thanks. Enjoy. Bye, I'm glad you're alive. Hello, thanks for all your help. Now that the facility has received the bandage, maybe we'll discover something new. I hope he doesn't die because of the PDA thing. I hope not. I'll take care of the remaining tasks, so you can take the rest of the day off. I'm sure you have other things to do than helping the police department. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. 2, 2, 1. I gotta go back to this guy so he don't fucking die. Because you said I'm glad you're still alive. Oh no! You can't say that I'm jinxing it, because maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. You don't know. You don't know. It's no problem, really. My trip to your world wasn't supposed to be a vacation. Alright then, I'll see you next time. See ya. Bye, Sebastian. Be safe. Get a drink and play some games. What games are you thinking of, Pasta? After this fateful day, I was glad to finally have some sort of respite. I wandered into the kitchen as I considered tonight's dinner. No problem, Pasta, no problem. Have fun with the games. Should I cook something or order out? Oh, no. Escape from Tarkov. Oh, I hope you have fun with that. When I returned to the living room, I suddenly found my strength leaving me and collapsed to the floor. Wait. Oh, that was the sound of me collapsing, not the sound of me being beat up. Okay. Cool. I am here now. You're welcome, Pasta. The next thing I saw was a blurry stone building. Up ceiling. As my eyes slowly returned, I managed to sit up. I was in a cave, and before me stood a familiar, mysterious face. Oh, it's the mask, dude! It's the mask! He's so fucking short! Oh my god! I apologize for the violence, but I can assure you it was the easiest way. Where am I? Is this your hideout? Just a temporary accommodation, so we can be undisturbed for this meeting. Someone else used to live here until recently. Do you know who I am? Well, you're not Riza. Good. What did it take for you to figure that out? Since you're not whispering anymore, You feel obligated to give more commentary? Don't feel obligated if you don't wanna, but if there's something that you're interested in, feel free to hit me up, Grant. I had a feeling that you couldn't be him since the first time we met, though. Which first time are you talking about? The generator in the cellar when you pushed me. I see. You can call me the administrator. No other humans are supposed to be here, though. I assume that's why you're wearing the mask. You don't want to be recognized. That is correct. Whoever you are, you also saved my life. On more than one occasion. Your presence here doesn't make any sense. You couldn't have come through the portal. The dragons would have noticed. This is where you are wrong. My arrival through the portal is what led the dragons to discover it in the first place. Is that so? When I crawled out from the hole in the earth that hid the portal, there were no guards to discover me. My appearance exposed the portal, but the dragons didn't know it was there yet. So you arrived even before Riza. That makes you the actual first human to come to this world. That is more true than you might think. Just who are you, then? I may have arrived through the portal like you, but my story is very different. Tell me your story, wise man. Before the fall of humanity, I was an engineer. I was a part of a team that was formed to create bioweapons. Our task was to create these bioweapons in a country where their development hadn't yet been regulated or outlawed. These weapons were planned to be a low-cost alternative for poor countries to wage war, so they would no longer have to rely on expensive drones and machines for warfare. I was to set up the lab where our bioweapon development would take place. It was a clandestine operation set to be in the middle of the wilderness. The laboratory was in an independent research and living unit, and provided everything we needed without having to rely on external resources or even an existing power grid. Everything was to be teleported right into the middle of nowhere, with no traces of or paper trail to follow. So international communities and law enforcement would have no idea of our operations. Bleh. I know how to say things. Bleh. Our only connection to the outside world after setup would have been a two-way portal to our headquarters, who would provide everything we needed. While we already could teleport individual people, Pasta, no, you can't give people responsibility like that. That's silly. While we already could teleport individual people, teleporting a whole building was another matter, entirely. Our solution was matter compression technology. Incredibly expensive, but operating in the gray market was also very lucrative. The technology behind it was much more complicated than even teleportation, despite being based on it. While teleportation works by utilizing black holes with a beginning and an end, compression technology relies on a loop, keeping matter in a sort of limbo state until the loop is broken. Working with black holes was very complicated to begin with, but this shape required much more finesse and thus was much more expensive. I was to be sent alone to set up the lab and the portal so the rest of the team could arrive safely. In case you didn't know, it is possible to use a portal to send someone to a previously defined endpoint. Therefore, it is not required to have a portal at the destination to be sent there, but as you can imagine, this is also very dangerous. A single variable off by a fraction could mean the difference between landing safely at your destination and smothering in space. Yikes. Of course, my employer did not want anything like that to happen. Not necessarily for my own sake, but because of all the unfathomably expensive equipment I had with me. Regardless, something went wrong anyway. Despite all their checks and safeguards, they could only minimize the risk so much. Even if the risk is a fraction of a fraction, sometimes you are just that unlucky. And sometimes it turns out that your bad luck is a blessing in disguise. I arrived safely somewhere in the jungles of the earth, yet it was not the destination that had been planned. Oh no! How could you say that, Grant? No! Also, yeah, it was Bryce. Freaking Bryce died. Rip in pieces. I knew something was off, but nevertheless, I set to work immediately. At the very least, I could prepare the building. I would have shelter, and then I could begin preparations for our project. getting the portal into working order would take more time as it was a complicated process that could take several weeks. If things had gone wrong as I suspected, I would at least be able to establish contact with the headquarters after the portal had been set up, and I would be able to return. While teleporting the lab to the wrong location was certainly a costly mistake, I was still lucky to have my life. Before long, I discovered the truth about the place I had arrived. While I was still on Earth, it was not the Earth I knew. It was the Earth of 65 million years ago. We knew that by utilizing black holes for teleportation, time travel was a theoretical possibility. It was something even my company didn't dare to attempt, though as teleportation in itself was still a very new technology. Yet here I was, 65 million years in the past, with a research station all to myself. The company would revel in the opportunity to study and profit from all the different life forms I could see. If only they knew about them. I spent the few weeks setting up the portal as planned, yet when I tried to re-establish contact with my employer, I was met with silence. Despite the time discrepancy, the portal should have been able to find my companies in the present. For a black hole, sending something through time is no different than sending something through space. Ugh. My dust lungs are killing me right now. However, when we built the portals, we gave them a specialized configuration. It was only possible to travel through space by aligning them across the time axis. That meant I, in the past, would still be able to search for portals in the present to connect with. I'm sorry to hear that, Grant. Yeah, my stream audio is very low. Especially because, I always try to turn the gain up and stuff, but then I can't do that properly, so then it's like, ah! Oof. I'll see if I can be a bit louder, but ooh. You can? Okay, sorry. Goomin, my dude. My counterparts in the present, though, would not be able to find me in the past, even if they tried. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. There we go. But I couldn't find them. Not a single one. Even after checking the portal for its function, I determined that, for all intents and purposes, the portals from the company have fun playing Counter-Strike swaggy! The portals from the company should have been there to connect with. It was then that I had a terrible realization. The portals in the present didn't exist anymore, or were no longer operational. Maybe the blunder of teleporting the lab caused them to reconsider the risks of using this technology. After all, it was already controversial and had been outlawed in several countries. I wouldn't have been surprised if they decided to cut their losses, but it was highly unlikely that they would have immediately shut down every single portal and left me stranded without notice. Portal technology was still being relied on in several places in the present. In my mind, only one possibility remained: superweapons. Various nations had been using them as bargaining chips for some time. I didn't think the threats had become that serious, but one of them must have launched their weapon and destroyed the majority of Earth. It could have been the result of a malfunction, or perhaps the political situation had escalated. Either way, it was not possible for me to establish any means of communication to find out what had really happened. I could have sent myself back to the present with the right coordinates, but this was a risky endeavor, and I also had to ask myself if it was a present I wanted to return to. I was sure that if anything was even left of our world, the aftermath or a possible retaliatory strike would take care of the rest. In the end, I had to realize that whichever present did exist was likely not one that was worth returning to. It made my decision all the easier. Instead of returning to a destroyed civilization, I saw an opportunity. Rather than creating bioweapons, I could use the lab to create a new civilization, shaped by my own ideals. I had all the necessary data and the most modern methods and machines at my fingertips. Dude, is this the god of this universe? Is this the guy that created the dragons? Is this the human god? Besides, most of the processes had already been automated. In the end, I still used the lab for what it had been created for, fusing human and animal DNA to create beings that were mostly animal, but possessed a greater intelligence that allowed them to learn whatever we wanted them to. As I didn't have any samples sent with me when I initially arrived, I collected them from the sources available to me. Automated processes mixed the DNA further across the samples. New abilities were added like enhanced armor, flight, and spit weapons to make the new creatures more effective in combat. The result was a number of different species, each tailored and optimized to fill a specific role in a war situation. Hormones allowed me to speed up their growth, and with the lab's learning program, they could be educated in whatever manner I saw fit. My first concern was self-sufficiency. They needed the kind of knowledge that would enable them to come together as their own independent society. Luckily, the AI that automated all the processes in the lab was more than helpful. I unleashed the first generation of my creation, and as their leader, founded our first village. I thought we could really pull it off, and once I saw that they could survive without my guidance and govern themselves, I knew my plan was a success. Dude, you literally created this world. When I realized that this new society would eventually be destroyed, I told myself that I would do anything I could to save it. Destroyed? What are you talking about? Haven't you realized where we are? The Chicxulub asteroid, Chicxulub asteroid is headed for us. With a diameter of over 10 kilometers, its impact will create humongous clouds of dust, throwing Earth into a literal dark age. They will block out the sunlight for over a year, killing off many species of plants that rely on photosynthesis to survive. I know how to speak today. Yikes. As a result, animals that eat those plants will also vanish, as will those who sought sustenance from those herbivores. All in all, 75% of all species will vanish, and in terrestrial ecosystems, all animals heavier than a single kilogram will die. That would be 2.2 pounds, in case you didn't know. It will be the end of everyone who lives here, every single dragon you have seen, unless we do something. We? What am I supposed to do? Do you not wish to save them? I came here to help humanity. Now you tell me that this society, this whole world, is also on the brink of extinction? That is the truth. What kind of difference could a single person like me even make to save it? Right now, it's also a single person that presents its greatest threat. Riza? How? In order to stop the comet, we will need as much power as possible. We reclaimed all the generators he stole. Besides, how could a few of them be enough to make a difference for something like this? Don't forget that Riza is still out there, looking for more. The truth is, I don't know if all the generators we could gather would ever be enough. We only require enough power to divert the comet's path during a crucial moment, but even if this plan is possible, we will still need every single generator we can get. So, my goal hasn't changed. I just need to find Riza. Yes, but you'll need my help. And maybe the help of others. You know that Riza is dangerous, and with his gun, he has a clear advantage. Don't think that he wouldn't hesitate to kill you if you were in his way. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Then what shall we do? Do you know where he is? No, but I think you'll find him soon enough, and you can count on my support when that happens. I see. There's one thing that still doesn't make sense to me, though. The dragons have myths about you, but they don't know or remember you. They haven't seen any humans for who knows how long. How much time could have passed since you created them and now? How many generations could it take to forget? Why isn't there proof of your existence? I don't know how long it's been myself. When I realized what time period I was in and that my creation was about to be wiped out in the future, I wanted to go to that future and see what they had become. I disabled the portal's time axis safeguards and thus enabled it to connect with others in different timelines. God, I need water. Boah. Aw, you're okay, Derpy, you're okay. This also includes that very same portal in the future. with the generator of our lab being able to supply the portal with power for an infinite amount of time. Oh, indefinite amount of time. That is the exact opposite of that. I was able to travel to any point in the future I wanted to. The entry and end point of the black hole would be the same place and the same portal, with the way traveling being just along the time axis. Since I could now search for connection points in any time period, I could look for my own portal in the future and pinpoint the moment its signal stopped. The comet. Exactly. I found that specific point in time and traveled to a future that was as close to that event as I could safely manage. After arrived here, my escape from the portal's hiding place led to its discovery by the dragons. It and the laboratory were unearthed. I still don't understand how our portal found yours, or why we ended up arriving at this particular time period. The portal you found was no doubt one of my company's. They must have been connected before, so the corresponding data for their connection already existed when you found it. I'm not sure if that could bypass the anti-time travel safeguards, though. Was it completely operational when you found it? No, it took a little bit of tinkering. Probably jumping the hardware safeguard in the process. Now, consider that connected portals travel along the time axis together. The data for their beginning and end points are adjusted automatically. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to transport anything from one place in the world to another without also sending it through time. Since these two portals must have been connected at some point, the corresponding data for the connection between those two portals already existed. When using the same connection without changing any of the data, this would mean that despite the time discrepancy between those two portals, time still progressed linearly for them. I'm not sure I understand. Let me try to rephrase that. The portal you found and my own share a connection. However, while the connection is locked to a certain place, which is wherever the portal is at that very moment, it is not connected to a specific point in time. For us, and the physical machines that are the portals, time passes linearly and we can't do anything about that. However, for the black holes, this isn't the case. Just as their entry and endpoints can be in different places, they can also be in different times. In order to not send something through time when we just want to transport something from one portal to another, the portals are anchored together in such a way that the time data is automatically synchronized. Essentially, this means that ever since you arrived in this world, the same amount of time that has passed for you has also passed in the place where you came from. Don't say it, Swaggy! Swaggy, Swaggy, Swaggy. I'm watching you, young man. I'm watching. Swaggy. Happy Friday, though, Swaggy. It's very nice to see you. Another one of the dragons that I could date just fucking died. He exploded. It was horrible. Also, this is the god of the dragon universe, but he's actually a science human, which is like, wow. No, don't say it, Swaggy. Don't say it. Don't say it. I see. So, oh, no. Okay, I'll take that, Swaggy. I'll take that. How have you been? How's your week been, dude? So, despite being in different time periods, time still passes linearly on both sides of the portals. Otherwise, it would not have been possible for you to send messages back and forth to each other. If they were not synchronized, the portals on both sides would stay connected, not only to a single point in space, but also to a single point in time, thus making proper two-way communication possible. Your week has been meh. Like, hopefully not meh bad, just like meh uneventful, not remarkable, whatever. I hope it wasn't bad then. Bleh. However, this is only possible through the connection that has already been forged. If we wanted to, we could also use our portal to send you back to your own time period, but to a moment before Riza even arrived here. Metrogen's like a prince, but we also had a Danish test. Oh no! You love your math teacher, but the test was horrible? Like, I totally get that. How do you think you did on it? Or do you have your score already? But that would mean there would be two of me, right? Wouldn't that cause a time paradox? I can only tell you that it would work. No one has studied time travel before, though, so if there are any consequences, then I'm not sure of them. You got a 0 because Danish is dab dab useless. Except for the Danes, they find it very useful. You're so mean to them, Swaggy. Most likely, an entirely new timeline would be created. There would be a timeline without a cat altogether, and in the new one, there would be 2 of you. This is becoming way too complicated. Are you my double? Are you my double? Are you saying that's possible because you are me? Like, you legally have to tell me if you are my doppelganger. This is becoming way too complicated. Yeah, but I don't have a use for it. Yeah, fair, I don't have a use for it either. But maybe some of the other students found a use for it, like that's cool. I apologize. To come back to your original question, I am not sure how much time passed between the time I left my newborn society and now. Nope. You can't speak for them. Since the portal was not designed for oh yikes. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry you gotta go through that, Swaggy. I have no way of knowing how the variables translated to our perception of time. It could have been thousands or even millions of years. How could the portal or even its power source still be operational after all this time? The portal receives its power from the generator in the lab. These units were fitted with the absolute best technology we have to offer. It was designed to provide sustainable power completely independently from any already existing network or power lines. It gains energy from many sources: sun rays, Earth's heat and movement, just to name a few. Keep in mind it had to power a whole laboratory and research station. Aw, thank you, Grant. Aw, thank you, Fox. Things are going strangely. I'm still mourning Bryce, and the administrator is very cool, but I hope it's not my doppelganger because that's bad luck. Dab dab. But happy Friday, Fox. And thank you for the charm, Grant. It's very sweet of you. While also providing the energy required for all of its inhabitants and the associated energy expenditures. Taking the power from Earth itself, a generator like this could continue providing powers to the lab indefinitely. You mad lab, you keep pulling a me. Why? Because of the good luck, have fun? Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single dinosaur since I arrived? It seems that the Dragon Society expanded over the whole continent. Many still hunt on their own for sustenance, and as such, the original species they were based on have mostly vanished, as in direct competition, ours proved to be far superior. Probably from the good luck have fun. Grant probably do that a lot. See you around streams. Y'all be hanging out together. Also, they have probably taken measures against having big predators roam their cities and villages. Yet while the dragon population has increased tremendously, I have found that by and large, their society as whole has not changed much. Ah. It's okay, we like seeing you around, Fox. Is that why everything here looks like it was made for humans? I suppose so. The learning program I initially used gave them knowledge about things and how to create them. Yet, of course, those were only human inventions and designs. Have fun at Overwatch practice, Swaggy! You so valid, Fox. They're not all twinks, Swaggy. I mean, I can't date one of the dads, and then the other one got exploded, so that was fun. Thank you, Swaggy. Have fun. Goodbye. Did they never once stop to think that they should adjust how certain things look? A lot of the furniture and objects I've seen look very impractical for a dragon. I was surprised at that too, but I have an explanation for that phenomenon. Don't forget that their genome was designed by an AI program, or AI programmed to make them into effective bioweapons. The idea was to have them indoctrinated at a young age. After reaching adolescence, their learning capability would be greatly diminished. This resulted in subjects that would stay loyal and be unlikely to change their desired behaviors. Instincts also play a role. I imagine they are very much at odds with their learned behavior. Hey Ten, happy Friday! How are you doing, dude? It's nice to see you. I hope you had a good Friday. How was your week? Instincts in animals never change, and instinctual behaviors will always be there. If a given trait has been programmed into their genome as an instinct, it is not very likely to change, even through numerous generations. We can see the result of this here. While I initially made them learn a certain set of values and knowledge, I have found that the expression of those ideas has hardly changed. And after I was gone, each new generation learned from its elders, and much of the initial knowledge and information was retained through all this time. Their genome as a whole did change, however, which was unavoidable over time. If they had been used as bioweapons as intended, they would have been nothing more than an army of identical clones. While I can see subtle changes in behaviors as a result, some traits are still very much present in them. They are content with what they have and don't strive for more. They don't innovate or change, so technological breakthroughs or new inventions are a rarity. It's quite the opposite, really. They very much value tradition and their ways, which have not changed much in all these years. I see. Let me save real quick. And let me... Am I gonna sneeze? No, I'm not gonna sneeze. I thought I was gonna sneeze. Ugh. How much time do we even have left to stop the comet? In a few weeks, the comet will pass the moon, and its gravity field will point the comet's trajectory towards Earth. This is when we need to be ready. If we strike then, we only need to minimally... let me get some water. Dust along be wilding. We only need to minimally affect its path in order for the comet to pass Earth safely. There won't be enough time for the inhabitants of this world to prepare if Riza steals our greatest assets. So it's all about Riza and the generators, isn't it? Indeed. By the way, I fixed the portal in case we need to use it. Did you break it to prevent me from being sent away? No, that wasn't me. Riza better not use it to escape. Trust me, the portal is our greatest asset. I have programmed it with emergency coordinates. If you should find yourself in a hopeless situation and feel there is no other way out, go to the portal. I have made sure only you will be able to use them. I'll keep that in mind. So what's your plan? What do we do now? I will resume my work and you will continue yours. Find Riza. The administrator turned to leave. Wait, what's with all the secrecy? Why are you still wearing that mask? Why don't we pool our resources together and you show me your hideout? Don't you think it would be better if you were completely frank with me? No, not now. Okay, bye. A second later, the figure had already vanished into the darkness outside. Spooky. When I followed, I realized that I wasn't sure how to get back to my apartment. Surrounded by trees and the blanket of night, it was hard to make out where I stood. After wandering through the underbrush, I realized that the lights on the horizon had to be coming from the village, and made my way back. And it's my home. I returned to my apartment without much trouble. When I looked at the clock, I was surprised to see how much time had passed. Not having anything left to do for the day, I soon fell into a deep slumber. I couldn't even visit anybody? No, what if somebody else dies? That's not fun. Seems there's nothing for me to do this morning. I guess they don't need me at the police department. Not that I mind. I need to meet with Lorem. He's the one I haven't done. They're all dying out here. It's horrible. I gotta meet with Lorem because I don't want him to die. He's the only one I haven't met twice. There you are. Come in. Sure. Honestly, I can't believe you agreed to do this again. Don't mention it. It's a pleasure. Now that I've had a chance to work through everything from last time, we can do some real work. Sounds great. I did a staggering amount of research on mythical humans. He's not a baby dragon, he's an adult. He's just small. And he's got fingies. It's fine, Pasta. Here, let me show you some of the stuff I found. Sure. How dare you say that, Pastor? You're so mean. We sat down at the coffee table. Lorem opened up a laptop and started to type away. Small dragon in his early 20s. Yeah, he's a young but still adult dragon. Seeing the laptop brought back memories. In our world, they'd become obsolete a long time ago. Dupaboo. Before I show you these images, I should probably tell you that some of them are really weird. Just don't take them the wrong way. You already told me about the four-headed humans, so I think I can handle this. Alright. Ah, lizard people. I'm liking the sort of like cutout print that had. He's a tree. That's hot. That right there, that's hot. Doesn't look very human to me. This one is supposed to be one of our ancestors. Ancestors? Well, it does remind me of some of the dragons I've seen here, but I'm not sure what humans have to do with this. You remember the myth about our creator turning into a dragon, right? Yeah. Probably. Now here's an interesting question. What species did that human turn into? There are a number of dragons nowadays that aren't genetically compatible with each other. Did the human choose one of them? Did they perhaps procreate? A shared ancestor is one option. This would mean that the different species split after the human's involvement in our creation. Oh no, Pasta. I'm glad you're liking that blush. If human DNA was involved in some way by doing the do, this might explain how our different species came to be. Take a far ancestor of ours, I'm glad you like it, I think it's adorable too, and apply various amounts of human DNA. The result would be a number of different species, each with a different amount of resemblance to humans. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Now, it has been said that an upright stance and being able to walk on two legs is a more human trait. Most humans walk on two legs. In any case, it's one of the things that makes humans unique. As a result, some people believe that certain species share more traits with humans than others. They think it makes them more knowable or something. Luckily, this doesn't happen often. You can walk on two legs as well, right? Like, what are you doing in front of me? Oh, because not everybody can walk on two legs. You right, Grant. Sorry. Humans, bone dollar, and everything out here. Yeah, if you could bone dollar a dragon, wouldn't you? Do a lot of people pick that option, Grant? Sure. In this theory of shared human DNA, this puts me somewhere in the middle since I still have wings and horns. He doesn't like that option? Oh no. It doesn't depend on your death. No, you're good. Or it doesn't end in your death. I can see that. Here, look at this one. Ooh, this is spooky. Oh no, past it, don't die. I'm sorry, Lorem, I didn't realize that was the right option. What's with the little horns? Since we don't know what the original human looked like, we can't exactly define which traits separate us from them. As a result, our interpretations of humans can vary wildly. Those sexy humans, all globby looking like they belong in a bog. I'm not sure he's a particularly friendly one, though. Actually, I think this is supposed to be a human female. Oh no, that's wrong. Interesting. There are some that don't think humans are friendly at all, though. Sexy human female. Really? So far, I've only heard positive things about us. Some interpretations of our myths don't exactly paint you in the best light. There are also people who oppose the idea of human worship and what their involvement has meant for us. In what way? They say that the human interference was unnatural and that we need to get back to our roots. And how do they think they can do that? Especially since considering that advisor dude is your roots, technically. Apparently, it means refusing to use modern technology and living in caves or the wilderness again. Like an animal. Pretty much. Most of us think those people are crazy, though. I see. That is a neutral thing for me to say. I see. They're harmless, really. Madmen! You probably won't see one of them around here anyway. This is an interesting style, though. Do you know how these pictures were made? They look like stamps, which are pretty cool. No. I'm sure that information was provided when I looked them up in the library, but I didn't copy all of that. And you're using these as references? I make do with what I can get. Maybe now you can see why I wanted your help, though. Alright, what do you need me to do? I just want to make some quick sketches. You can stand over there by the wall. Okay, I can certainly do that. I can stand by a wall. I walked up to the spot he indicated. When I took my place, I saw that he had laid out a number of pens, paper, and other art supplies on the table. Oh, this is going to take a while, isn't it? I'll try to be quick about it. Do you want me to strike pose or something? T-pose should be good to get started. You don't know what a T-pose is? My character is hopeless. My character is hopeless. Why? Why are you asking the WTF about the T-pose? He's a game designer. Just put your arms sideways. Drive me like one of your French girls while I clip through the wall. Point your arms sideways so you look like a giant T. Oh, I get it. Raising my arms to the sides, I wondered how long this would take, because your arms are gonna get tired, baby. Great. Now try to stay as still as possible. Can I still talk? Sure, as long as you don't talk with your arms. As I wasn't allowed to move my head, I stared at Lorem sketching my figure. This went on for a few minutes until I suddenly heard the sound of a door opening. Oh my god, it's his roommate! I really like your tail, sir. It's very cool. T-pose to assert dominance. Hey, Lorem. Oh, right. The human was going to visit today. I totally forgot about that. You don't mind if I take a seat, right? You just want to study cat. Like you aren't doing that right now. Besides, this room is mine as much as it is yours. I'll just watch and be quiet. I thought you had experiments to run. And they are running. I'd rather not be confined to my tiny room for the next 2 hours, staring at the ceiling and waiting for them to finish. But no experiments on cat. Yes, I'll just sit here and maybe take a few notes. I'm sorry, Cat. This is my roommate and longtime best friend, Ipsum. Lorem Ipsum! This game. Nice to meet you, Ipsum. His scientific bluntness may be off-putting, so please bear with him. Speak for yourself. So much for those two being best friends. Lorem returned to his drawing, the silence only being interrupted by the strokes of his pen. By the way, have you seen my Ixamen sphere recently? Didn't you take it with you when we went to the park the other day? Yeah, I did. Well, that's the last time I saw it. I must have lost it then. I already searched the whole apartment. Did you go into my room? No. Maybe someone found it. I had it registered in my name when I got it, so if anyone finds it, it should show up sooner or later. What is an Ixamen sphere anyway? It's just a glorified toy for grown-ups, really. You have no idea what you're talking about. An Ixamen sphere is a very sophisticated tool that I know how to use words with a countless number of uses. Like what? It can levitate and follow you around, take photos. You can even use it as a calculator. Oh, it's like an orb phone. Ring-a-ding-ding, making it a glorified toy for grown-ups. I use it for my experiments. Well, if they can take photos, I wouldn't need to stand around like this. That is, if we had it here now. It is a great companion for all situations in life. It's much easier to draw from a live model than from a photo, though. Easier for you, maybe. I hope this doesn't take much longer because my arms went numb a while ago. You get the same emote when doing random "this is rigged." Oh no, Grant, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I cry for you, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think you can relax for now. I'm nearly done with this one. A tingling sensation went up my arms as I relaxed. Slowly, I began to regain feeling in them. Alright, now turn around. I thought we were done already. Not unless we want our humans to lack a backside. So that's what this is all about. Ugh, you know what I mean. I know exactly what you mean. Isn't it my turn to draw you now? That's not how it works. I wouldn't mind getting a portrait of myself. I can already see it. The light shining from above, caressing my luscious mane, highlighting each lock as they interplay. This is going to be a long day. That depends on how fast you are. As I was now facing the wall, I couldn't see what Lorem and Ibsen were doing. Caress that mane. That luscious mane. After a few seconds of silence, I hear some whispering coming from the couch. What are you talking about? I didn't want to be rude, but I was just curious about your vestments. He said, and I quote, "This would be way more interesting if it wasn't for those clothes Cat is wearing." I see how it is. I see how it is. I'm just saying, it would be hard to study an insect if there was a piece of cloth draped over it. Wearing that would just seem odd to me. If humans wear clothes like this, it's only appropriate to depict them as such. And my scientific curiosity shall remain unsatisfied. He wants to see you naked! You right. Because Cat is not here to do that. We actually have a pretty big variety of vestments. I could tell you about it. Sounds good, but not right now. I have to finish this up first. Alright. Lorem looks like Pepe. Whomst? Feels good, man. So, Ipsum, I've heard a lot about experiments in science now, but what do you actually do? I work in the facility as a biologist with a minor in physics. In addition to the office, I also have my own setup here at home. I assure you, it's properly isolated from the rest of our apartment. It even has a fume hood to prevent accidents. But I only use it for the smallest of experiments. Usually things unrelated to my job. Sounds interesting. Oh, don't get him started, or we won't hear the end of it. I know how to read and say things with my voice. Ugh. Maybe you'd like to talk about your hobby instead, Lorem. See you in a little bit, Pasta. Isn't this already a hobby? I guess you could say so. I was talking about his other hobby, though. Oh, that. I don't know, it's a little embarrassing, to be honest. There's no need to be embarrassed about your hobbies. He likes flowers. Once he even made a crown out of daisies. Cutest thing in the world. Don't listen to him. As usual, he only tells half the story. What's the other half, then? I have an extensive love for botany. The fern he keeps in his room must be the happiest plant alive. I find gardening to be very relaxing, especially when the birds are singing in the morning. It's so nice to go out there with a nice cup of tea and work in the garden of our apartment building. Video game designer, liking gardening? Like, God, what more could I want? He's a baby, though. Which reminds me, Ibsen here has quite an extensive tea collection. Although I'm not sure if he prefers to hoard tea or gadgets. It's a mystery. I heard there was gonna be a model of the Ixamin sphere that can actually make tea. That's gonna be a must-buy. Can it also make cups, or are you supposed to sip it out of the sphere itself? Don't be silly. You two just sound like an old couple. Couple us? Not really. We've known each other for a long time, though, if that counts. I think it does. By the way, Ipsum, you're not from here, right? What is that supposed to mean? Well, you look nothing like any other dragon I've seen here so far. I suppose that's true for Lorem as well. You're both pretty small, y'all babies. But you, Ipsen, also have hair. That's certainly new. It's not as unusual as you might think, but you're right. There aren't many of us in these parts. I imagine being smaller than the rest of the population would come with its own challenges. It's not that big of a deal. If something is unreachable for me, I can fly. This apartment was actually intended to house one dragon of a bigger size. That not only makes it fairly cheap, but it's also big enough for both of us. There's one thing I've been wondering. How do you even sit in one of those chairs? Wouldn't the backrest cause problems with your tails? Yeah, I see what you mean. For me, it's never been a problem because most chairs are bigger than I am. It's just a question of getting into the right position. However, this might be different from those of us who walk mostly on four legs, but they usually don't like chairs like these at all. I've seen a few try, though. I suppose they want to imitate humans this way. Even if they can't stand or walk like a human, they can try to sit like one. With varying results. Some I've seen looked really funny, trying to fit in chairs that are too big for her, or sit in odd ways that clearly don't work with their anatomy. Ugh, need water. I see. Lorem, you asked me about breath weapons last time, but I don't think you ever told me if you had one. Probably because it isn't worth mentioning. It may only be a very small flame, but it can get very hot. What about you, Ipsum? Yes, Ipsen, what about you? My breath weapon is elocution, since words are more powerful than anything else. This is twinsies. Alright, I'm done with this one. You can turn around. Sure. Let's make one more. Maybe something dynamic. How dynamic are we talking about here? Something that isn't static like the reference models I just did. You can strike a pose. Something that's just you. Alright. What kind of pose should I go for? Thoughtful. Alright, what about this? Works for me. By the way, did you get the groceries when you came home from work? Yes, just as usual. Are you too sure you're not in a relationship? I certainly am. Actually, Ipsum is deeply in love with his home laboratory. Oh, really? I'm not even going to deny that. When I'm not working on something at the office, I do so here. What are you currently working on? I've been looking into the physics of teleportation. You're talking about the portal, right? Well, I don't have permission to even approach the portal, so I have to resort to a theoretical discussion on its mechanics and make do with what I can pull off in my home laboratory. Ugh. Don't mind me, like, I'm just trying to think, like, whether or not I'd be able to last for, like, another hour and a half. My voice be wildin'. Maybe I could tell you a few things. That won't be necessary. I've already read all the available test reports. Okay. Are you aware that using the portal could be incredibly dangerous? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Then you don't have a complete understanding of what the portal actually does and what it means for our world at large. In order for a portal to function, a natural wormhole is required. It is trapped and becomes the portal's entity. The portal manipulates the wormhole's exit. This way, something can be sent to whichever destination is chosen. Now, there is a theory about the purpose of the natural wormholes in the universe. It states that they act as the support pillars of the space-time continuum. How so? How should I explain this? I think the video game analogy worked pretty well. Sure. In a video game, what happens when you meet the edge of a map? My world is currently in an apocalypse. I have not played a video game in my life. You hit a wall? I guess I have played a video game in my life. That happens in some games, but in others, you reappear on the opposite side. Right. How does this happen? If our world was a perfect sphere, someone could just keep flying in the same direction and eventually they'd end up at the starting point again. Sure. This is just a result of physics and the abstraction of a video game. However, it doesn't work like that. They don't try to replicate a spherical world, but use a 2D plane instead. This is getting confusing. Imagine a piece of paper with a world map printed on it. Right? While it shows the entirety of the world, it's just a simple flat piece of paper rather than a sphere. Right? Sure. Let us assume that in a game, our world map looks like that. Now, what happens when we approach the edge and walk over it is that we are teleported to the opposite side. Okay? This doesn't actually make the game world a sphere, but rather a torus. A torus? Nice, I'm an Aries. You know, like a donut. If that's the comparison you want to make. Okay. Now things are going to get really complicated. Are you familiar with the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics? Let's say I'm not, just for the sake of discussion, because I am definitely familiar with it. It states that every single time a choice is made by any actor that possesses free will, the universe splits off into different branches. This means that for every choice you've made, there exists a branch of the universe where you made a different decision. I see. Yes, I like that. Solid. Now we can't communicate with these other branches in any way. You don't know what could have happened if you had made a different decision just this morning. You could make an educated guess, but the only person who truly knows what would happen is that alternate you who has made that decision and is living its consequences. That is, unless we could communicate with those other branches. However, there is a barrier that prevents us from doing that. This barrier is made up of wormholes. How does that work? It's very similar to the torus world model that is used in games. As we approach the edge of our world, the barrier causes us to end up on the other side instead. Does that mean we get teleported to the other side, like in video games? Just like in video games. Nope, not necessarily. It would be just as correct to assume that our universe is shaped like a torus. So, which is it then? Do we get teleported or not? That depends on how you look at the wormhole's function. Imagine the sheet of paper is the entirety of our world. He took a sheet of paper from Lorem's stack and showed it to me, marking a spot near the edge with a pen. And this is where you live. Unfortunately, your workplace is here, on the other side. He drew an X close to the right edge of the paper. If the world was flat, this would be very unfortunate. However, if the world was a torus, the left and right edges would be connected. You could take the shorter route to work by going over the edge. Now, let's say that this is only possible because wormholes connect these two edges together. If you happened to be right at the very edge and looked beyond, everything would look perfectly fine for you. Given that these wormholes stay in their place, you would never know that the world is actually flat and that you can only travel to the other side because the wormholes connect the edges. You would think that the world is a torus, right? However, what if the wormholes don't bring you to the other side by teleporting you, but instead just bend the paper into the torus shape and hold the edges together. If these wormholes... water. Dusty lung. If these wormholes failed or were displaced, the paper would unfold, throwing the world into disarray. That's what the wormholes and the barrier actually do. They are what hold everything together. So they're really more like glue. If it wasn't for them, the overall construct would collapse in on itself. What construct? The entirety of space-time. Now, if these theories are true, that would mean using a portal damages the barrier. Each time the portal is activated, the wormhole used for the teleportation is displaced, leaving a small gap where it used to be. Do this too often, and the overall system will destabilize eventually. Alright, maybe you shouldn't talk about your theories about how the world is going to end. Nothing's going to happen because the portal was used a few times. I just hope humanity is aware of its implications. Maybe we can collaborate. I certainly hope so. Your researchers seem to know what they're doing. I just wish I could be a part of it. With everything that's going on, the future looks incredibly exciting. What do you think's going to happen, Ipsum? Now you'll get him started. Don't say I didn't warn you. The knowledge contained within your PDAs could propel innovation forward by unseen lengths, meaning a lot more experiments for you to do, which would be terribly exciting. Personally, I'm more interested in the social implications. What do you mean? I don't expect there to just be a back and forth of ambassadors forever. Are you talking about colonies? Oh, I bet Lorem would jump at the opportunity to live in the human world. I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. We are currently living in a societal apocalypse. Why not? Obviously, such an endeavor would need a lot of preparation. We would need to learn about their culture and adjust appropriately. Haha, yeah, that is exactly what I am saying, Lorem. I'd expect we'd send an ambassador over there long before that will happen, though. We hardly know anything about their world. Everything's still up in the air as far as diplomatic relations go. We have no idea what the situation could be like in just a week. Yes, and it's also incredibly exciting. Don't get too excited, though, or else you're going to ruin your drawing. It's almost done, anyway. Here, what do you think? Lorem leaned over, holding up the paper to Ipsum. Ipsum looked at the paper closely, his gaze shifting back and forth between me and the paper several times. After a few seconds, he seemed to be finished with his evaluation. As a scientist, my professional opinion is that this part looks a little long. He pointed his sharp claw at the part of the paper Lorem was holding. Are you sure? Let me see. If I wasn't sure, I wouldn't have said it. I think you're right. That I am. Lorem reached for his eraser, purging a few lines from the paper before he switched to his pen again. And it's done. See, what would you ever do without me? I don't think I'd hear as many explosions in the middle of the night. You were happy about it when you forgot to set your alarm that one time. Suddenly, the sound of an alarm resound throughout the room. Oh, my experiment is done. Bye, Ipsum. And there he goes. Charming fellow, isn't he? Yeah. He certainly keeps things interesting around here, and he's a good art critic. I can imagine. Anyway, looks like we're done here. Whew. It feels good being able to move again. Would you like to stay for dinner? It'd be the least I can do to compensate for your lost afternoon. We rollin' like heck. You rollin' them babies again, or are you being rolled, Swaggy? Awesome, that's good to hear. Maybe you'll be able to raise a rank. That'll be good. Fingers crossed for you, dude. Are you playing Mercy again? Let me see. What time is it? It's getting late and I probably shouldn't stay out this long. Looks like I'll have to decline for now. Yes, Mercy. She pretty. I see. Well, I gotta do something for you at least. Don't worry about it. Maybe some other time. If you say so. Thanks for doing this, at any rate. It's been a huge help. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it, really. Alright. I should really get going now. Bye, Lorem. Sure, take care. Bye. Can I hang out with anybody else? Another free day. Yay me. Meet with Adine. Meet with Remy and Nadine. Hello? Here we are again. Let me save. Shh. I still can't believe freaking... I can't believe he's dead. What? Oh, alright, never mind. Just a minute. Hi. I hope I didn't forget anything. You said something about going to the beach? Yep. Oh, guess who got her entry confirmation for the stunt flying competition? Is it me? Don't be silly, cat. I've got it right here in black and white. We are happy to confirm your entry into the annual stunt flying competition. Please have your competitor number ready and show up at the organizer's booth at the summer festival by... Well, who cares about the rest? I'm in! That's great. Yeah, but the festival's pretty soon. I have to make the most of the time until then to get my skills up to par. I thought you already have years of experience. Yeah, but now I have to practice the best routine I can possibly come up with. Not to mention making sure I can execute it flawlessly when the time comes. Practicing in general is very different than practicing for an event like this one. I see. Are you ready to see some stunt flying? Sure. Just don't lose your paper. Please don't lose your paper. Let's go then. Let's go to the beach. So this is where you usually practice? I practice just about anywhere, but today's a nice day for a beach visit. Water and sand are also good surfaces to practice complicated maneuvers on, in case you can't make the landing. Makes sense. Well, don't let me hold you up. Oh, I can't just start practicing right now. I'm still giddy with excitement from getting that letter earlier. Besides, I wanted to hang out with you while you were still here as well. I can read things. Sounds good to me. Do you visit the beach often? Not really, except for practice, that is. It does make for a nice backdrop while I fly, though. I see. I am very talkative. Do you ever go to the beach? No, it's not something that was possible for me the last couple of years, but it certainly used to be something other people would do. I see. Sunning yourself can be nice sometimes, but I'm not really a fan of going swimming. There's so much more you can do at the beach, though. Like what? Make sand castles. You already mentioned sunning. Do you ever get a tan? What's that? I guess that's a no then. To be fair, you are completely covered in scales, so I imagine you wouldn't be affected. Tanning is a reaction of the skin when it's exposed to sunlight. If humans stay in the sun for a while, our skin can get darker. How strange. And if we are exposed for too long, we can even get what is called a sunburn. And what's that? Well, the skin can take on a reddish tint, and it can be painful and cause dizziness. Did you need to mention the peeling? Because that's a pretty big thing. So you have to be careful not to stay in the sun for too long? Pretty much, though that isn't necessarily true for all of us. Depending on the skin tone, people can be more or less affected by the radiation. Thump. What you thumpin', Grant? What you thumpin'? I see. That sounds kinda complicated. Does that mean we shouldn't stay here for too long? Don't worry about it. I see. Just let me know if I need to do anything. Sure, will do. You said you don't like swimming all that much. Why is that? Well, as you can imagine, I prefer the air to the sea, even though we flyers have quite a relationship with the water. What kind of relationship are we talking about? We use it to hunt. I see. So you go fishing, but you can't swim all that well. Pretty much. We can do enough to safely hunt and paddle on the surface, but that's about it. If we actually want to go swimming, it's recommended we wear a life vest. Is it that bad? Our wings are made for flying, not for swimming. The movements and muscular are rather different. With some training, we can learn to swim better, but it still wouldn't be really effective. Ugh. I cannot read today. I see. And besides, who would choose to learn to swim if we already have the air to ourselves? Flying is just your thing, I guess. Pretty much. You made it sound as if beaches are a pretty important thing for humans. I wouldn't say important. Rather, it's a unique way for people to spend time. It was often done as a leisure activity or a way to spend holiday vacations. That sounds pretty important to me. What else did you do at the beach? Sand castles. I got an idea and started looking for something in the sand on the ground. With a bit of digging, I found a flat, smooth stone and showed it to her. Do you have any idea what I'm going to do with this? Not really. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna friggin' eat it. Let me show you something. I went to the edge of the water, followed closely by Adine. Now, watch this. Crunch. I extended my arm with the best technique I could muster before I threw the stone towards the water. Spinning in the air, the stone bounced on the water's surface a few times before it sunk into the sea. What was that? Stone skipping. Never heard of it? Yeah, she's cute. She's the one that I worried died, but she didn't, so we're good. No, how'd you do that? I can show you. I looked around for another suitable stone and soon found one near the edge of the water. Let's start with the stone. Ideally, we want one that has a big surface area, but is as flat as possible. Got it. This one is also really smooth, which helps too. Okay, so we need smooth, flat stones. Now, the technique is also pretty important. I'm not sure how well this will translate to your anatomy, but I'll just show you how I do it, and then we can figure out what you can do. Okay. Hold the stone like this, extend your arm, and curl it like this. Then you have to throw it in such a way that it stays relatively stable in the air, but spins as fast as you can make it. I do it like this. I threw the stone, once again showing her how it subsequently bounced a few times over the water's surface before it sunk into the sea. I'm not sure if I can do that. We'll see. Maybe we can figure something out. Let's look for a stone first. Okay. We both started looking for another appropriate stone. I saw Adine scratching around the sand with one of her feet. She crouched down to pick something up before she returned to me. Here, what about this one? That should work. See, you've already got that part down. Guess so. Okay, now for the technique. She was holding the stone in the claws at the edge of her wing. I tried to guide her by pulling her wing back like I would an arm, but it became clear to me that it lacked a lot of maneuverability an arm would have. For the throw, you'll want to move your wing forward as fast as you can, and at the very end of the extension, let go of the stone. I'll try. I could see her moving her wing awkwardly. She pushed it forward before releasing the stone, which sunk without bouncing a single time. That didn't work. Yeah, there wasn't really enough spin on it. Let me try again. Alright. I waded a few steps into the water to retrieve the stone she'd thrown only moments ago. Here you go. I'll try something different this time. Feel free. Instead of using her wing, she took the stone into the dexterous claws on one of her feet as she continued to stand on the other leg. Effortlessly, she pulled her leg back before rapidly moving it forward and releasing the stone. It flew in a bit of an upward arch before it bounced off the water's surface once and subsequently sunk into the ocean's waters. Nice! Not bad, huh? I had no idea you could do that with your leg. Actually, our legs are what we mainly use to grab things. It only gets complicated if I'm supposed to be moving at the same time, like when I'm waiting in the cafe. Interesting. I suppose for someone who's hunting while flying, that's pretty much a requirement. It is. Actually, if I'm at home and eating chips or something, I usually use my feet as well. That sounds kind of funny. Because I want to end this conversation as soon as I can. It probably isn't even half as funny as you're picturing it. That was a neat trick, though. So, what else can you do at the beach? I don't know, build sandcastles? That was the last thing on your list? Like, dude, come on. I haven't done that in like 2 decades. I tried to imagine what Adine building a sandcastle would look like. Based on what I knew now, she probably wouldn't be using her wings. Would you believe me if I told you we used to have contests for building sandcastles back home? Water. Really? Yeah, people would build huge, detailed sculptures that would be taller than both of us, just with sand. Oh, wow. That sounds hard, though. It is. You could try it if you'd like. She'd be 26? Okay, that's good. Wait, decades ago. You were so young. You can't say decades ago. I'm not sure I have the patience for that. Yeah, you're around that age, Pasta. To me, it seems a bit of a shame to build big, elaborate sculptures out of something like sand that clearly won't last. I mean, if you're going to spend so much time on it, why not create something that will stay? That's actually the point of these contests. Beauty be fleeting. Oh, really? Yes, people demonstrate their skill in creating these sculptures, and by using something like sand, they prove that it doesn't matter if the sculpture gets destroyed in the end, because they can just do it again if they like. I see. That's pretty interesting. Actually, it's not unlike your stunt flying competition. How so? Well, during your competition, nothing lasting is created from the performance itself. It's all about the experience and the memories. You have to prove that you are skilled enough to do those stunts right at that very moment just for the competition. That's a good point. I'm in the mood for a snack. Please don't eat me. Or please do. Should I get something for you as well? Yes, please. All right. You can watch me if you'd like. Maybe you can learn a thing or two from it. Am I eating raw fish? Dude, are you giving me raw fish? You want to teach me how to fish? Sure, since you taught me the... What was it called again? Stone skipping. Right, since you taught me the stone skipping, I can show you how to fish. Okay. We actually have 2 very different ways of doing it. There's hunting and angling. Personally, I prefer hunting, though. I can see why. Let me demonstrate. She took a few steps back, then started running towards the edge of the sea. Rapidly flapping her wings, she jumped into the air at the last second, taking off and flying around the area. I could see her staring at the sea intently, circling a few times before descending towards the water's surface, claws extended. When she got close enough, her claws suddenly sunk into the water, only to reappear with a fish in their grasp. Yay! Afterwards, she returned and landed near me. She's got her little goggles on, that's cute. I haven't seen her with her goggles on yet. Did you see that? Yeah, but I think my distinct lack of wings would probably prevent me from doing the same thing. You don't have to do exactly the same thing. In the end, I'm just grabbing them right out of the sea. You could do that. I'm not so sure about that. I bet it's a lot easier with your claws. Fish can be pretty slippery. I guess you have a point. Well, there's still the other method. Angling. Yep, angling. See my tail? She showed me her tail. At its end there... water. I'm probably gonna end this stream once this day is over. I don't think I can do the full 3 hours. With its distinct shape, size, and color, it reminded me a lot of a banana. Yeah, sorry, Pasta, I don't want to hurt my voice too much. What about it? This is the bait. Yeah, it's just my throat's being weird. I think it's like because of the dust lung, it's causing a lot of like dryness and gunk, and it's like, ugh, I cannot talk well. She sat down near the edge of the water, letting her tail hang down into it. This can take a while sometimes, but there are techniques which can speed up the process. At the end of the day, it would be an unfortunate place to end. Oh no, will it? Well then, I suppose that would be a mega cliffhanger then. I'll get some rest, no worries, Pasta. The right amount of movement attracts different kinds of fish. That way, we can even choose what we're going to get. And that works? Yeah, not all the time, but often enough. Interesting. There are even groups that exchange tips and such for angling this way. Suddenly, I saw her whip her tail upwards, which caused a fish to be launched towards the beach, where it landed on the ground with an audible thud. There you go. That didn't take too long. It can be very hit and miss. I guess you never miss, huh? Oof. I just got lucky this time, and it's not even the kind of fish I really wanted. Include parts of a second playthrough if you don't want it to be pretty short. Yeah, probably. I'll probably be able to do the full 3 hours next stream. So like, it won't be like super short next time. I'll only end at the end of the day because of the special circumstance today. But thank you for the advice, Grant. I can't stream forever. I would just be bones, dusty bones. I guess that's why you prefer hunting. Yep, and you also don't get the nibble scars on your tail where the fish bite you. Much appreciated, Basta. Though I suppose angling is also going to be hard for you without a forked tail like we have. Actually, we have fishing rods for that where I come from. What's that? The principle is very similar. Basically, it's a long stick that we hold over the water. A line connected to it has a bait and hook at the end to catch the fish. When the fish bites the hook, we can reel in the line to get the fish to us. So you are using a tool to do a very similar thing. Basically, yes. Sometimes we also use fishing nets. Oh, some of us do that as well. Not my kind, but usually it's those who either work for a fishing company or sell seafood on the market. I imagine someone like you doesn't have to buy their fish on the market, though. True, but sometimes it's easier to just get them there to get what I want to instead of coming all the way here. I see. Speaking of which, let me get a few more for later. Feel free. Get those fish, girl. Once more, Adine took to the sky to hunt for fish. While it was interesting to watch her for a bit, she kept hunting for a while, and I started passing the time by collecting some seashells. Whew, that should last me for a while. Oh, what are those? Seashells? They're for you, Uwu. For me? What for? Well, you could decorate your apartment with them or something. I see. Maybe I should ask you to clarify this, but does this have any particular significance for humans? Not really, it's just a gift. Haha, it is a gift for you, thank you. Aw, I hope I see you before I leave, but thank you, that's very sweet, Pasta, I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Cat. All that hunting was a good warm-up. I feel about ready to start with the practice now. Go ahead, I'll watch from here. Actually, now that I'll be part of an official competition, hi Frost, it's good that you showed up. Once this day ends on this game, I'm probably gonna end the stream. So that's good that you showed up now, because we still have some time to talk. How was your day? Happy Friday. Are you still working? I need a fancy stage name. Oh no. Also, dude, the frickin' cop dragon exploded. It was crazy. Do you have something in mind? It started off good, but, uh-oh, what happened? Work fucked you up. I'm sorry to hear that, Frost. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, we were investigating a house, and there was a door that was rigged with an explosion, and he just died. He just frickin' died, dude. It was crazy. Not really. Have you got any ideas? Yeah, it was crazy. Angel. Freefall. Stormhawk. Lightning. Neowing. perhaps changing your stream setup this weekend? Ooh. Like, changing up, like, when you're gonna stream it? Or are you thinking about changing up, just in general, what you might want to do in the future? I really like Angel. Oh, the physical setup. Oh, what you gonna be moving around? Freefall's cool, Lightning's cool, Angel's cute. Angel's cute. Angel's cute. Angel's cute. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Ever since I knew about the contest, I've been thinking of this name. What a crazy coincidence. I was thinking either that or Banana Ring, because I just want to call her Banana. Do you mind if I go with that? Not at all. Angel it is then. Alright, are you ready to see some aerobatics? I certainly hope so. I'll start off with a few easy moves. The stage is yours, Angel. Thanks! The whole thing. Desk too small for what I'm wanting to do in the future. Refuses to get a new one. Oof. Rather me move into our office. You're moving into the office. Ooh, I hope that goes well for you, Frost. Put on some music, just have a day of it, then go get yourself some food and chill out. I hope that it goes well, Frost. Effortlessly, she took to the skies, clinging around the area, circling. I can't read, I can't speak. It's a good thing I'm ending this soon. Ugh. Circling around the area a few times before she started to do a few maneuvers. Oh, look at that artist. She's so good. I love her. Look at that Banana Ring. A roll followed by a loop, after which she did another roll. It seemed to be less of a practiced routine and more of a warm-up to me. Gradually, her maneuvers got more complicated. I saw circles that got smaller and smaller, a brief nosedive, and multiple loops and rolls one after another. Then she landed and returned to me. What do you think? That was great. It's good, don't yell because you want your super old desk had in college. Stuff won't fit, move the computers onto that one, gonna put you set up on the big desk. I hope she doesn't yell at you either, because that would suck. Like, big time, dude. It sounds like you've got everything figured out though, which is really good, Frost. It's real good. Yeah, same. You haven't even seen the best part yet. What would that be? My very own Adine special. Or rather, Angel's special. It's a routine I came up with and have been practicing for a while. That the desk my new chair fits in. I'm so glad that you got that chair. I'm still so glad you got that chair because your other one was like, wah. It's pretty difficult, so I'll probably spend the rest of my time until the competition perfecting it as much as possible. What does it look like? It starts off with circles near the ground. Then, as I ascend, the circles get smaller and smaller. Once I reach the highest point, I go into a nosedive through the middle of the circles. Doesn't even use the office anymore, very rare occasions. You'd use it way more often. So hopefully she'd stick to her word and she'd be cool with what you are doing. At the show, I'll use a smoke trail when doing the circles so everyone can actually see me going through the circles I made. That sounds pretty cool. That's not all of it. While nosediving, I'll do a few rolls, and just before I hit the ground, I'll pull up again. Lastly, I'll end with a few loops and go to the next maneuver. It'll all end up making a neat shape in the sky with the smoke trails. Sounds like you've got it all figured out already. Yeah, now I only have to perfect my execution of it. Don't let me hold you up. Alright, here we go. With determination in her eyes, she took to the skies once more. When she reached a certain height, she slowly descended again until she was close to the water's surface. Then she started making her circles, slowly ascending as the circles gradually got smaller and smaller. Once her circles became as small as possible, she suddenly turned herself around and went into a nosedive. Her speed quickly increased while she moved towards the water. Then she did a roll, and another, followed by a third. Need to get a new monitor there, sisters. She'll take it, she moves out. She wants to play Just Dance now, don't want to take it away from her. That's kind of you, and that's kind of her. Fingers crossed that you get that new monitor soon. Monitor's good. Dangerously close to the water's surface, she suddenly pulled up, but as she did so, one of her feet went below the surface where it apparently caught onto something, causing her to spin out of control. Did she catch another fish? I saw her feeble attempt to regain control as she barely managed to steady herself enough to get back to the beach. She made a rough landing, rolling on the ground a few times after colliding with the sand. Dean, are you alright? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. It looked pretty impressive until the landing. Either this weekend, any good ones by the next paycheck. Fingers crossed for you, Frost. Fingers crossed, big time. Ouch, my wing hurts. Let me take a look. Can you move it? Oh no, you're fine, you're fine. It's giving me stuff to read, Frost. It's stuff that I can read in my brain and not with my mouth, which is good. Cause ugh. Oh no, I hope she didn't hurt herself right before the competition, cause that sucks. A bit, but it really starts to hurt if I go further than this. At least it doesn't seem to be broken. Yeah, I guess it's a sprain. It happens all the time. Really? Well, not all the time, but it happens. Yeah, she hurt her wang. What about the competition? The injury is going to put a serious damper on my practice schedule, but I'm not giving up anytime soon. I guess practice is over for today at the very least. Yeah, let's head back. You with your human furniture. I should have some bandages in the cabinet over there. I'll get them for you. What now? Would you do me the honors? Of course. Where should I start? I think it's this joint right here. Yep, definitely. Okay, let me try to get this right. Wrap, 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 wrap. Is it gonna edit her sprite? Here. That should do it. How does it feel? It did not edit her sprite. Dang it. Much better. Maybe with this I can even start practicing again in a day or two. Just to be safe. Of course. Heck. What you heckin'? Well, thanks for the help with the bandage. And sorry about cutting practice short today. I guess you didn't get to see any proper aerobatics after all. It's no big deal. Your health is more important. Are you going to come to the show? If I can, sure. Oh, right. You might be busy. I'll have to see if I can make it. I'd love to be at the show, though. I'll contact you later with all the details, and we can figure it out from there. Sounds good. I'll see you next time, then. See you. Bye, Dean. How's this day gonna end up? Grant made me think that was that. Oh no, conflict because Maverick. Chapter 5, spooky. Fireworks. What are we celebrating? Dude! Was that Sebastian? Dude, did Sebastian die? Dude, oh, did Sebastian die? I want to finish this, but I gotta... Oh, new setup, you'll be able to have all your setup out all the time. That's very good. I'm so happy to hear that. This is gonna be an hour early, but I really should end here for the sake of my throatness. I mean, that sucks, but you do what you gotta do. Wait, fuck, really? No! No! Oh my god. Okay, okay. I spoiled myself. Oh no. Oh no. Why? Why them? Why him? What is going on? Everybody died except the one dude. The video game making dude died, and the yellow girl that I just went on a date with died. I'm assuming Sebastian died. That was his silhouette. Now it's the nerd, whom I still love, but like, why? That's the thing. But I'm still like dedicated. I gotta end this right now because my voice is still being dumb. So consider this hella cliffhanger. Because Yahoo. Arbiter, it's fine. Just catch me next Friday. Yeah, I gotta end it. It was very nice talking to you, though, Frost. I'm glad you made it in the end. And it was very nice seeing you at the end, too, Arbiter. And Pasta, wherever you are, thank you. It's not spoiling yourself if it's the only way to figure out. You know? That's right, Grant. It's not spoiling myself. It's fine. We got movie night tomorrow. Movie night around 5 o'clock fake time zone. So we'll be able to see that. But yeah, you're right, Grant. Like, oh my gosh, what a way to end. Oh. But thank you guys for watching. It was very nice seeing you. Yeah, like 8 o'clock wherever you are. Yeah. But it was very nice. You guys have a good rest of your day. I love you. Thank you for the support. Y'all have a good day. Love you. Goodbye.